what's up you guys, it's Shaye Stone back with a new video. So today I have a special guest. Her name is
Hannah.
So Hannah apparently lives in a very haunted house, and I decided we need to explore this, okay? So here we are with Hannah at her house, and she's gonna basically tell you about like some of the history, what she's been experiencing while here, and I kind of want to like explore more so she can have a closure on this situation, because I was here 2 days ago, which I will insert the audio clip here down in the video, which you guys can, you know, review and all that, but I'll insert that in later. And yeah, it's haunted. Here's Hannah. She's going to tell you a little bit about the history, what she's been experiencing, and then her boyfriend's with us, so he will tell a little bit of like what he experienced, which is pretty creepy, so I want you guys to hear that. But yeah, here's Hannah. She's going to tell it.
So, roughly as far as I know history-wise about this house, my grandparents, supposedly they are the second owners of this house. They've been in this for 27, almost 28 years now. We've not really experienced a whole lot of paranormal activity up until roughly 2011. That is whenever my great-grandmother passed away in this house. Other than that, you know, we've experienced people standing in the hallways. There's one girl in particular who likes to stand in between what is my bedroom door and my grandparents' bedroom door. And whenever people come up the hallway, she will duck into the bathroom. Usually roughly around 3-4 a.m. in the kitchen, you can sometimes hear pots and pans clattering. You can also hear footsteps. Just as Cheyenne was mentioning a couple days ago, we kept hearing what sounded as if a little girl humming. We also heard a man's voice, along with, we have a lot of fake plants in our house, and we heard a lot of those rustling around. There's been a lot of other noises and things like that happening, and here lately we've been having more paranormal activity than normal. More than I am comfortable with, to be frankly honest.
I also saw like a big ball of yellow light, which Hannah saw literally like not even 30 minutes after I saw it. After I explained it, she said she's seen the same thing. So I thought that was a little weird. I don't really like know what that means. So if you know what that means, like comment down below or something like that. But as she said, there's like much more activity than she likes to have. So I feel like if we can explore, get to like the bottom of it, see what we can capture, we'll give her at least like some closure with the situation. But yeah, and I do like to say that she gives me full permission on this, and I'm excited. Couple questions I want to ask you. So basically the first question would be, when was the very first time something has happened like paranormal in this house, like that you first start realizing like, oh, this is real?
Very first paranormal activity I'd have to say would probably be the little girl standing in the hallway. Mm-hmm. That didn't actually start happening until 2011, as I mentioned before, except for it was around September. My aunt and uncle, who also live in this house, they had a daughter that passed away during birth, stillborn. And at the time, they were living in this room. This was their room. And ever since then, there's been a figure that always stands in the hallway, like I said, kind of ducks into the bathroom. After that, like I said, months later, my grandmother passed away, and that's whenever the pots and pans clattering began to happen, and things like that.
So you said 2011?
Yes.
That's like 7 years you've been experiencing this, and that's insane. Okay. And then the most recent paranormal thing was like, I guess, with when we were all together. Mm-hmm. And then the recording, which I will insert. And I'll like slow it down. You guys can hear like literally an extra voice, but like off camera, off like audio and stuff, we literally all three heard the clearest like voice ever. It was literally a girl giggling, and it was phenomenal. Like, it was crazy.
It was very distinct. Mm-hmm. Very, very distinct.
And then we all freaked out. Okay, so what's the most, like, I guess, worst experience that you've had here? Like, what's the worst thing that you saw or like heard or that's happened to you?
I honestly would have to say the most, I guess you could say, vivid experience that I've ever had is actually I was coming out of my room right here, and I ducked into the bathroom, not thinking anything about it, which I should have. Didn't think anything about it, left the light off, and I had walked, because you've seen my bathroom, it's like long.
And scary.
Yeah, and the shower curtain was pushed open. It was open about yay far, and I kept hearing a noise, like just laughing, and I didn't know if it was, because we have smaller children in the house.
Yeah.
Didn't know if it was one of them laughing. Well, obviously, you know, finished using the bathroom, stood up, went to walk out, and something told me turn around. Well, I turned around, and I would say the distance, about that far of a distance, that little girl was standing right in front of me. She was following me out of the bathroom from being tucked behind the shower curtain.
Okay. Ew. Yeah, I just want to let you know the bathroom is the most scariest thing in this house to me. That's why I left the bathroom light when I left and didn't look back. Like, oh damn. Okay, so the woman who passed away in this house in this room was your grandmother, and so I took a photo, like, because I was taking photos around her house to see if we could see anything. I didn't see anything. But one particular photo I took without the flash, and it was of her stairs, which we'll show you guys, explore. But I took a photo of it, and I zoomed in. I was looking at totally something else. And then we discovered there was a face, like clear as day. Like, you could see the nose, the hair, and the figure is standing right there. Now, the weird thing is, that figure looks nothing like your grandma, like, because you showed me a picture of her in the living room, and then that's when I realized, like, 2 and 2 doesn't add up, like,
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how do you feel about that?
I thought that was very odd, as a matter of fact, because what we saw, I thought about, a grown, older version of, like I said, the deceased child of my aunt and uncle. That doesn't really fit the description either. Obviously, it doesn't fit my great-grandmother's description. However, my living grandmother, Mimi, the one that's here, I was talking to her about it, showed her the same photo that, you took and sent to me, and she brought up the idea that maybe it could be my great-grandfather.
Okay.
Maybe.
Because that figure in that photo looked like a man and not the woman, so I got confused on that end. I was like, oh my gosh, this doesn't add up. Like, but that makes more sense.
Right, yeah. He passed away, I think it was a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away at the age of 96. Yeah, he lived a long time. He also served in World War II for the Air Force as a radio operator. And he did the translations and stuff between German and English, and he did all the decoding and things like that as well.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking, I don't understand why he would be lingering here, because, he didn't pass away here. He passed away in a nursing home. But it is very possible that once he passed on, his memory came back, because while he was alive, he had real bad dementia. And whenever he passed on, all his memories came back, and maybe he decided to spend the rest of his time here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big possibility to me, but to her it doesn't seem that way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it doesn't seem like a possibility to her, but I did explain to her that spirits do linger, they do follow, things like that.
Yeah.
So that's just one possibility that I think it could be for a man figure, because going back in history, like I said, my grandparents are the second people to have ever owned this house. They've been here 27 to 28 years. And the people that owned it beforehand, nobody had ever passed away here. They moved in after it was built. Now, the history of the landmark here, we have no idea about.
Yeah.
But my grandparents, Mimi and Pop, which is her husband as well, have also brought up the fact of this may have been a burial ground of a form.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it may be a burial ground of either Indians or Civil War.
Oh, man, that's...
Yeah.
Well, dang. So I told you my, like, the worst place I think in the house is the bathroom to me. Because I don't know, that's where I feel like most things are taking place and happening. What's your, like, most, I guess, uncomfortable spot in the house?
I would have to agree that the bathroom is a really uncomfortable place. But I also have to add that I personally feel like the hallway connected to where the bathroom is, so right in front of my bedroom door,
Yeah.
of course. I feel like that is also a very high place for paranormal activity. Another place is in the kitchen, and not the den, but the living room. I feel where we caught that recording that you're going to insert. That is a big place that I feel like has a lot of activity as well, especially because we have that huge window there, along with the mirror right beside the big window.
Dang, okay. Yeah, and that's also where we caught most of, like, our EVP, and, like, where we heard, like, everything that one night. But, so, they were telling me a story where you, when Chris was here and stuff, about the door opening.
Yes.
I think we could show them how that played out.
Yeah.
I want to get up and, like... This is where, basically, the hallway and, the bathroom is connected right in front of her door. She's gonna show you, like, they were all chilling on her bed here, and basically the door opened out of nowhere, and then, yeah, just show them how it happened, too.
So, me, my boyfriend, and a really good friend of ours, actually, Chris, we were all sitting right here on my bed, and we were just having casual conversation, when all of a sudden my door happened to open, and it didn't just, you know, creak open, you know, just pop open a little bit. It opened completely and at a fairly decent rate. Whenever it opened, it was pretty good rate. There goes my dog. But it was a pretty good rate of opening, very rapid, out of the middle of nowhere. I got up to shut the door, and as soon as I did, went to pull away. Actually, I was right where I was standing, and it swung open rapidly like that again, and I just shut it closed, except for I slammed it that time, and we just went back to our casual conversation. It didn't bother to open again, didn't try to or anything.
Yeah, that's basically what they were telling me about the door situation, which was pretty creepy. So I was thinking that later on in the video when we do our investigation, we could try to get it to open the door like last time.
Yeah.
We could be like, yo, open. Hannah's boyfriend, introduce yourself.
I'm Noah.
Hi, Noah. Anyway, this isn't a support group. So, you recently moved in with Hannah, and you didn't really experience anything paranormal until you moved in. And he told me basically a really creepy story, and I want him to tell it himself. So basically just tell them what happened that one night with the figure.
These were 2 separate nights.
Okay, wait. These are 2 separate nights. Tell the first night, or whichever.
The first time it happened was we were laying in bed, about to go to sleep, and Hannah, well, we were both getting hot, and she decided, not that way.
Disclaimer.
We were both getting hot, so she decided to turn the fan up. So when she got up to lean up, I leaned up to try and smack her on the booty, and when I sat up, I saw a dark shadow figure standing at the end of the bed where the fan would be, and her head was like literally in the figure. So like when I saw it, I barely touched her and laid back down and curled into a ball. That was the first night. The second night that it happened was, it was around 3 o'clock in the morning, and she was already in bed. So I was getting ready to get in bed. I was turning all the lights off, and I got in bed. About 5 to 10 minutes after I got in bed, I got an uneasy feeling and I was facing towards where my end table is. And something told me to look on the side. And I didn't want to because I had that uneasy feeling. But I did it anyways. And I saw a dark figure standing right next to my end table looking over me. And I got scared and rolled back over and I was attached to Hannah's hip. So.
I mean, I would be too if I saw that. But yeah, also, was it you and Hannah here when the shoe happened? Was that the third night?
That was,
the third night? Or?
That was actually a couple nights ago. I think it was the same night you came over.
Oh, wow, okay. Do you want to tell them that?
Yeah, sure. I was sitting right where Hannah is filming this, and I was watching TV, and she was over on the bed on her phone, and we had just gotten back not too long before this from the store, and she had put her shoes in this little cubby holder, and they were in there. And we were talking, and when we stopped, looked back at the TV, and the shoe worked itself out and fell down in between the track of the closet. And that's where it stayed. Because neither one of us got up to put it back up. So just like, okay, you're down there and you're going to stay down there. So
Not touching that.
Yeah.
They're just trying to, wear your shoes, Hannah. Alright, but yeah, that's, your experiences. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Yeah. So, also, what's your, not favorite place of the house since
Where we're sitting.
Where we're sitting?
Yeah, this room.
Interesting.
I don't like the bathroom either, but I
Yeah.
don't like sitting in here around this time by myself.
Around 3 a.m., which it currently is, right? Show them.
Yep. 3:24.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Alright, guys, so that was basically the interview process. So now we're going to show you a tour of the house, what we're talking about with the bathroom, the hallway, and all that. So yeah, follow us.
Blurry, and then whenever I switched it back over to you, it got a little bit blurry. It wasn't as blurry as whenever you showed the phone to it, but it got just a hair blurry.
So right when we stopped filming,
Yeah.
or before that, because he started talking
as soon as I switched it back to you, it was fine, and then you leaned a little bit close, and that's when it kind of got blurry.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
You normally said around 3 a.m. in the
Yeah,
morning.
that's when shit starts going wild.
Yeah, so. And he started talking about that too, and it went blurry.
Yeah.
Wow. Alright, guys, so I'm currently filming. Here's the bathroom that we're talking about. I'll show you. And here's a shower curtain. So that she was talking about.
Yeah. So whenever I was in here, I used the bathroom. Obviously went to get up and walk out. Whenever I did, heard the shower curtain move. Didn't think anything of it because the window was open. Maybe wind was blowing, whatever. Went to leave. Something told me to turn around. And whenever I did, that's whenever I saw the shadow standing between me and Cheyenne. The same distance.
Okay.
Right here is usually where...
Yeah, right here is where that figure was in the photo. I have to see it. Here's the hallway.
Let the door open.
A montage of everybody walking down the hallway. Ready? You good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, this area is the area that I said I don't particularly like. This is my den. This is the mirror that I was referring to, saying that it was down here. Here's the massive window where we saw the great big ball of light. I would estimate it to be roughly the size of a softball-ish. I'd say about that size. We actually were all sitting right here.
Yeah, right
on
there,
this
and we heard
couch.
the laugh of the girl over here.
I knew that, but that's the, that's the couch
Okay.
that we were all chilling on. Bright light.
Yeah.
No shit. That's not a light as bright as that.
Am I allowed to show that picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this. Is it still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is my great grandmother, the one that we were referring to. That photo, the person standing in the hallway looks absolutely nothing like. This is the one that passed away upstairs in what is now my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
In here, we tend to have a little bit more activity. Like I said, in there's the kitchen. We have a little bit of activity in here. Sometimes the chairs will rock back and forth like that, this one and or that one. We also hear the couch creak sometimes. Yeah, there she is. You usually hear the couch creak sometimes. And in here is where we hear a lot of pots and pans clattering. I remember one time in particular, I was in here in the kitchen. I was fixing to make me some herbal tea because I'm that type of person. And right here where I'm standing, I saw one figure, and at the same time there was another figure standing on the other side, and it looked like they were having a conversation of some sort. And as soon as I come down and I noticed both of them, I flipped on the light, they were gone completely.
Wow. Noah, how about you? Okay, so you. Okay, so he was telling me about how he looked past, like, out the doorway up into the stairs and saw the figure and ducked his ass back in. So he's gonna reenact that for you.
I'm not looking down that hallway.
But like it was right here.
I was right here, and Hannah was making tea.
Your herbal tea.
Listen, I like to make tea.
And we were about to go back upstairs. Well, she forgot something on the counter. So she was like, give me a second, I'm going to grab something off the counter. I was like, all right, I'll just meet you back upstairs. So I went to go upstairs, and at the top of these stairs right here, I saw a dark shadow figure. And I like jumped back in, and me and Hannah almost ran into each other. That's all like before I jumped back in because it scared the hell out of me. And I was like, do you need anything? And she was like, no, I'm good. And so I let her.
And then he almost ran into me, and he was like, you need anything? I was like, no, I'm good.
Well, I let her go first because I'm a little pansy. So I was going to turn the light off. Well, when we both came around the corner, she saw the same dark figure at the top of the stairs duck into the bathroom when we came around.
Yeah, and as soon as we went upstairs, you know, Pansy following behind me, went to go up to my room to open my bedroom door, and something told me, don't look in the bathroom, but me being me, I was like, I'm gonna look in the bathroom. So I look into the bathroom like a moron, and whenever I do, I see the same figure that he saw at the top of the stairs, which I saw also in between my bedroom door, my grandparents' door, which is the same one that ducked into the bathroom, and it was standing there by the toilet.
So you basically were face to face with it.
Yeah, I basically was face to face with it.
Dang.
Within like a bathroom length, other than, you know, like I said, the time, which actually happened to be a couple days before this incident. I had noticed it, like I said, pop out from behind the shower curtain and was basically face to face with me, literally.
Wow. But I want to show you guys the stairs. So basically, your point of view, you're here and you look straight up without a light. So guys, we're gonna turn off the light for a second. So this was his view, okay? And then, yeah, then you booked your ass. That's it. Alright guys, so that concludes basically like the tour of the house and like what we were talking about in those stories. So what we're gonna do now is the investigation part. We got a lot of stuff that like we want to do along with the bathroom, the door, And I was thinking about like starting this whole thing out with the whole living room thing, so you guys can get like our point of view, our perspective on what happened that night when we were all sitting on the couch when we heard the girl's voice from over there. If you guys hear that background noise, it's Hannah. Disclaimer, and she's coming back. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna be starting the investigation process.
What'd you say? I said whenever I went upstairs to go get my water and my pack of cigarettes and my water, looked into the bathroom again like an idiot, and she was standing in the bathroom.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how far?
If I would have stuck my arm out, I'd have touched her.
Oh my gosh.
If I would have stuck my arm out, I literally would have touched her.